Regulation G is still a fresh format, officially landing May 1st. The gimmick of this format allowing you to use an Uber or restricted previously not allowed in previous Scarlet Violet metas. These include Pokemon like Calyrex, all the way to Groudon, and even Cosmog? Ooh. But naturally, this is a big power spike as you have a Calyrex now knocking at your door, hitting +2 Terapagos Astro Barrages. Whereas in Regulation F, the premier setup mon was Calm Mind Raging Bolt, who sets up and then beats you in 3 to 5 business days. Now you're losing in 3 to 5 turns, maybe even 2. So yeah, naturally this is overwhelming. And for those of you in the know, I'm a VGC coach. And a lot of my last sessions have been using, beating, and just understanding all of these raid bosses, essentially. And then it dawned on me, I can be silly about this. I can make a video about this. You're watching a video about this. So without further ado, here are how to beat every restricted in 5 words or less, or your money back, guaranteed. Okay, starting off this list, we have this conglomerate of Pokemon. And as I'd like to say, in 5 words or less, opponent lost on team preview. No, seriously, if your opponent has any of these Pokemon, then congrats on the free win, I guess. It's like playing Monopoly and Pass and Go and collecting 200. It's gonna happen, and it's free every time. A lot of these Pokemon are kind of just clearly outclassed, like Zacian having another form, or Cosmog and Mewtwo just being plain doo-doo water. That's it. And honestly, your opponent may be a masochist. If you see your opponent running any of these, then either they're entering their Goku hyperbolic time chamber arc, or they're like Rock Lee with training weights, and by the end of this practice session, they're going to be way stronger than before, or they just like losing. Regardless, collect your rank points and keep on laddering. Terapagos, position strong fighting damage. Terapagos is one of the shiny new restricteds available in Scarlet Violet, within a unique ability that quite literally reads like an overcomplicated trading card. To shorten it, when it enters the field, it goes into Turtle Form. Turtle Form has a Wonder Guard-like ability that's very power crept. Instead of taking 1/2 damage, all attacks become not very effective, even fighting attacks. When it terras again, it turns off all the terrain and all the weather only once, gains a special attack boost and a max HP boost, and then its signature move, Starstorm, hits both Pokemon for stellar damage, which means while it does lose the stab on the move, you do get a 120 BP, no drawback, super effective against any opponent's Terra, and hits Ghost. These teams tend to play prettier linearly, and having a strong fighting Pokemon at the end of it, after all the support Pokemon are taken out, is usually how you deal with Terapagos. Taking out Pokemon like the Amoonguss, the Comfey, Incineroars, Rillabooms that support it, and then having a Pokemon like Urshifu, Mienshao, Koraidon, who love facing down that little guy at the end, will more often than not lead to your win. However, the tricky part is getting to that position, and how you do that? That's not for this video. Good luck on that one. Calyrex-Shadow. Pray your opponent is bad. I just don't see how you lose. That's with Calyrex-Shadow. That's really it. Like, playing Calyrex-Shadow is like getting a taste of being a Nepo baby. You're handed so much privilege that at a certain point you wonder, why was I even playing other legendaries, other restricteds even? And as you continue playing, you just realize that Cali is so versatile. You can play it on balance teams, you can play it on side spam teams, you can play it on Tailwind teams. Honestly, the world is your oyster. And there's a reason why, if you go on Showdown, if you play, you'll see all these Terra Normals, Terra Darks, all these unique ways to hit Calyrex-Shadow, because this is the Pokemon to beat. And honestly, I don't know how you beat it. Your only hope is that you're playing against Wolfglick fanboy number 1269, and they just forget how to play the game. Calyrex-Ice make them feel awkward. A step down from their horse brethren is Calyrex-Ice, which is like slightly more manageable, but don't be fooled. This Pokemon is also a Nepo baby ass Pokemon. However, its reliance on speed control being base 50, and the only move it really wants to click being a spread move, you can make it feel really awkward for trying to play its game. Pokemon like Mienshao and Pelipper are great wide guarders, whereas if it does decide to click Trick Room, you have Pokemon like Amoonguss and Bronzong that can just make it feel awkward for being in its element. Groudon and Koraidon use Weather Reliance against them. While two separate restricteds, the two Sunsetters tend to build very similar teams. Pokemon they stack tend to be lots of Proto-Synthesis boosted Pokemon, as well as the common ones being Incineroar, Fluttermane, and Raging Bolt. However, this comes with the unintended side effect, as these Pokemon are some of the best non-restricteds for a reason. You end up buffing other opponents' Incineroars, Fluttermanes, and Raging Bolts, which creates this very interesting game where your strongest allies are also some of your strongest counters. Rain teams also tend to do really good into Sun teams, as you have teams like Tornadus Kyogre, and even Pelipper supported restricteds like Calyrex-Ice tend to do really strong when one of the strongest suits of a Sun team is taken away from it. Miraidon, deny terrain. Miraidon is that day zero, oh, this Pokemon's gonna be busted. But in reality, it's only been kind of okay, if not a little underwhelming at times. A mon whose true struggle isn't necessarily in gameplay, but how to build the perfect Miraidon team. Sure, all the future Paradox Pokemon do get boosted due to Miraidon's presence, but that only further exacerbates one of its biggest weaknesses, that reliance on terrain. This there leads to terrain deniers such as Rillaboom, Incineroar, Terapagos having a really nice time matching up into that Pokemon. And if you find yourself lacking fake outs and these terrain deniers, you're going to be staring down these Terra Electric boosted choice specs, electric terrain, electro drifts, and those are guaranteed to OHKO you twice over.
Oh my god, Miraidon has the speed advantage. How much is Discharge gonna do? Electric Terrain boosted, Hadron Engine boosted, Terra Electric boosted, Choice Specs boosted, Discharge. Is it enough damage? It is!
Didn't even need the double protect. Miraidon claims its first championship in Regulation G.
Kyogre, faster offense. Kyogre is what I describe as an Unga Boonga legendary. It wants to do one thing, and that one thing is disgusting. It wants to mash its super strong water spouts or origin pulses over and over and over again. However, at base 90 speed, Kyogre is a bit slow in 2024 and deeply requires something like the Tailwind support, a Trick Room support, literally any kind of speed control would help it, and this lends to faster offense, being able to deal damage into it before it's able to mash those very strong water spouts. Pokemon like Rillaboom and Raging Bolt also have really strong, super effective priority moves that basically force it to have a defensive Terra. Otherwise, those Grassy Glides and Thunderclaps are going to do a number on Kyogre. Some more balancing approaches that teams can take are just having Wide Guard somewhere on the team, or even an Ogerpon Wellspring completely immune. Just be careful of those pesky Tornaduses next to it. Zacian and Zamzenta abuse their slow to start nature. Wait, that's 6 words. Look, it's been long, okay? There's been lots of parts that I have to push back together. But that'll be an editing nightmare for later. For now, let's go back from the top. Zacian and Zamzenta abuse their slowness to start. The dogs, who are like Koraidon and Groudon, are two very different Pokemon that tend to find themselves on very similar teams, frequently seen on these Pelipper balance style teams. And a lot of their damage generally comes from single target moves, Zacian Behemoth Blade, Zamzenta Body Press, surprisingly. And they do also have their respective boosting moves, Swords Dance and Iron Defense. On Zacian's case, in simple way to beat it would be using something like Incineroar, who's able to intimidate Parting Shot through it, and just making its start even slower. In Zamzenta's case, because of body press, you don't really get that luxury. So some options you might have are burning it, having strong redirectors that don't care about body press, and even Terra Ghost, as a majority of his damage will be coming from that body press. Whew. And there you have it. How to beat a majority of the tier 1 and tier 2 restricted Pokemon in 5 words or less. Honestly, I did miss quite a few, like Eternatus, Dialga Origin Form, that maybe if you like this, I can make a part 2. Truthfully, this was just getting very long, and as long as you weren't using the very egregious bad ones, I wanted to at least educate people and be silly on how to cover some of the major ones. And if you'd like to see more content like this, just leave a like, subscribe. This is my first time doing this. I've never asked for a like or subscribe. This is so awkward. But it's, yeah, if you like this content, maybe comment below. Obviously, I didn't cover how to beat every Pokemon like in depth, but that wasn't like the purpose of this video. So maybe we can even do like a redux in the future with even the same Pokemon, because there's so many ways to beat Pokemon. Pokemon is a beautiful game because you can do so much in team building that you can make these unique ways to beat so many of these Pokemon, and I'm excited to see the many ways that people do as this format progresses. Anyway, I've been yapping. I'm a yapper for real. Like, honestly, I'm better when I'm just yapping. This is the yap sesh. But thank you all. Like, it means a lot that I've been able to make these videos and have so much fun. It's been pretty rough, and like this video maybe like the middle of May. Who knows? I like recorded this in like April. So if you made it to the end of this video, maybe say hello from May, or I hope I don't post this in June. Hello from May. Hello from May, y'all. See you soon. Bye.